shy away from. And we thought, who better to talk about ambition than somebody who has really owned it for so many years. So Shradha, welcome to Open Ceiling Conclave. It's the first time we are getting Shradha to stay at a different hotel from the Lalit, which is her family hotel. So we are all very, very happy and excited to have her here with us. Thank you, Shradha.
Thank you, Neha. Thank you.
Great. So Shradha, why don't you tell us a little bit, first of all, about why is ambition a dirty word in the first place? Yeah, what are these biases that people have about ambition? What does ambition really mean?
So, you know, in my mind, ambition is something that everybody should own. I don't know why it's considered to be a dirty word, more so when it comes to women. I think we tend to get ashamed of being ambitious because we are more concerned about what the social fabric is going to think. The day we shed that, it's something that everybody needs to own. I owned it long ago against a lot of odds, and I'm not ashamed about it. So I don't think anybody sitting here should be.
Okay, so tell us, Shradha, what made you first realize? Let's get a little bit personal here. And tell us about, like, was it something different about your upbringing that made you ambitious?
So, you know, I come from a setup that's very different from the usual Punjabi setup of Delhi. I was adopted by my parents' older brother and sister who actually did not have any children. But we all lived together, so there were 4 adults and 4 kids. The unique thing about our family was that it was women dominated, which is an anomaly, especially in the northern part of India. And the women were super ambitious. My biological mother started working at the age of 21. She had 4 kids along and she was working. But my mother, who was my mother, and who adopted me, actually started working at the age of 45. She started to pursue her passion and ambition at the age of 45 and started a school. And at 60, she set up another school, which today is actually ranked amongst the top 3 in the country. So that's ambition.
Wow, okay, that's amazing. I was really expecting a story about that we learnt ambition from my dad. Yeah, and here she had 2 mothers to teach her ambition. That's brilliant. So, Shradha, when did you realize though that, acha, mujhe kuch karna hai? Okay, that, like, when was that shift in your work career space that you felt that, okay, no, I am ambitious, I'm going to own it, and I'm going to do something?
It's a very interesting story, you know. I was studying at Delhi University, doing economics at a college there called Hindu. I was dating my now husband. At that point, I wanted to apply and get into a master's program in the UK, and I wanted to go to the LSE. Because I was so busy having a good time, I actually didn't make the cut. So I went to my father and I said, I haven't made the cut, but is there something you can do? So in Punjabi, he said to me that when you were running around those trees and having that rollicking affair, you didn't come to me. I'm not going to do anything. You got to do this yourself. That's the day I realized that, you know what, this is my story. I went to Leeds, which was not the LSE. I did a master's, got a distinction, went to LSE, came back with that acceptance and handed over to him saying, from now on, it's my life, my rules.
Wow, that's awesome. So from the education part itself, that ambition got in, where you said, okay, I'm taking ownership of my life. Tell us a little bit about how the work journey began.
So once I finished and I was working in the UK, both my fathers actually landed up one day in London and said, what's your plan? So I said, I don't know, do a PhD, I don't know, whatever.
They didn't ask you, what's your plan, who are you going to marry?
No.
Just checking.
No. So they said, you know what, why don't you we have a proposal, why don't you look at it, etc. So they actually conned me to coming back, and I came back, and our businesses were divided into 2 parts. One was hospitality, the glamorous part, which obviously I wanted to be part of, and then there was this whole auto piece, auto manufacturing, auto R&D, auto retail, and they said, why don't you look at this? And I'm like, you must be kidding me. I mean, I don't know this, I'm not going to do it. So I walked into that first day into that organization. There were 6,000 men and 3 women.
I'm sure, Mrs. Manjari, you can relate to these kind of statistics, and I'm sure a lot of women over here can relate to these kind of ratios, but that is incredible. 6,000 women and...
6,000 men.
6,000 men, of course.
3 women.
3 women.
All 3 were secretaries. All 3. One to the CFO, one to the CEO, and one to the chairman.
And it was, of course, a chairman.
No, so I walked in and then, we started, chairman, yeah. At that time, I got that. It's now chairperson, of course, because if I'm leading it, it's chairperson
there
for
you
sure.
go, and that's a big change when there's a woman on top, right? We change it from chairman to chairperson.
Yeah, there's no chairman in our company now. Of course, I'm known as Shradha, but yeah, officially they write chairperson. And that's a big shift that happened. I took over as president of an association. It's an apex body for the auto sector. It's called Auto Components Manufacturing Association. It's a large association representing 900 companies, and a total turnover of 70 billion or something like that. However, the association's been around for about 80 years. They had one lady president in 1970 for 6 months, only because they couldn't get another male, so they had a filler. And then they have me in 2023. So ACMA today is actually struggling to change the whole narrative of saying Madam President, which I find hilarious. But so there's a lot. The whole paperwork has to change. Everything has to change. It's very male-oriented.
Okay, super. So, Shradha, when y'all were quite a few siblings, right? Coming into the business.
Yeah.
And you have a brother also.
That's correct.
So how did the expectation of ambition play out between the girls and the boys? And the boy?
Interesting. Our parents were very clear. They said, business or no business, everybody needs to get a good education. All 4 of us, studied as much as we wanted. 2 of us are lawyers. I went to the LSE and pursued economics, and 1 more as well went to the LSE. So their narrative was, educate yourself enough so that if you have to go out there and make a life for yourself, you can do so. Because I was adopted by my parents, actually I went into the business that they were handling. The other 3 remained in the hospitality trade. There is absolutely, I don't see any issue at all. They're all working as a very good mix. They balance each other out. I'm actually on my own now. I lost my parents. I lost my father to COVID in 2021. I lost my mother 8 months later, so it's been hard. But no issue, we're one. When it comes to the workplace, it's ability, not your sex. For sure not.
Super, amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're driving that in your team also now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so how are you seeing ambition play out in your team? And especially when you see both genders?
So you know what, now I'm happy to tell you, though it's taken me 22 years, we are about 10,000 people, but we have 17% women workforce, which is very, very large in the auto space. It's not so large in the other spaces, but it's very large in the auto space. One thing I struggled with is that women were not coming into the mid and senior management. So like you, we have also started taking women who have dropped off and are coming back. There's a lot of dynamics because there's power play amongst the men. There's not so much power play amongst the women. Egos get bruised when the women are actually doing better than the men, which they are in a lot of spaces. My narrative to the whole team is that it's ability, ability, ability. We don't care, whether you have that extra 2 inches between your legs. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
All right, okay. The press people here, please close your ears, okay, and strike that from the permanent record. But yes, absolutely. So now tell me, but sometimes do you view ambition as good or bad amongst your team, and how do you handle that?
So, ambition, if harnessed properly, is actually a very good thing because it drives you to give your best. Ambition, however, if done negatively, can be harmful for the individual team and the organization. The key is how as management we can actually pivot the whole ambition energy into positivity. A lot of women are actually ashamed of being ambitious. I keep repeating that, and I think that the moment they own it, they come to the front. For men, I don't know whether it's ambition or ego. I mean, you know, they're a little confused, but then they're confused about a lot of things. So, yeah, you know, so what we've done actually is that whether it's reviews or it's promotions or it's etc., there's absolutely no gender bias. They can't be, I'm sitting on top of the value chain. It's not happening. It's not happening now. But yeah, we do a lot of, we educate our women workforce on how to own themselves, their skill, their talent, and their ambition. And I think that's important. They must realize, what they have in them. And ambition is not shameful. So, yeah.
So who all over here feel that they are ambitious? Yeah, love it. Exactly. This is exactly the right audience for this discussion. So let's then move to how do we change the narrative to outside this ballroom also. Yeah, Shradha. I mean, how do we change it for women who still feel that, oh, being ambitious or being career oriented or money minded, means that I'm going to be a bad mother, a bad wife, a bad daughter. And then talk a little bit also of how do we change it for the next generation.
Very interesting. So I think that earning money is not a bad thing. I mean, who said it was? It doesn't matter whether I earn it or my spouse earns it. What is happening is that the social fabric at home makes you feel that being an ambitious woman is a bad thing. So education is important. Education at every level, even at the school level, where we are educating our boys to actually understand what is good ambition and what is bad ambition. Likewise, we're also educating our girls. So the narrative has to change from there, and support staff at home, at the workplace. When we say equality, it's not just equality that I have 50% women working in the organization. Equality is about how we treat each other every day. Also, I have to say one thing, that if some women need to step off the career path for a while, it's all right. We don't have to we don't have to feel weaker because we have said that we don't want to be ambitious for this time. My own example, after I lost both my parents in 8 months, I actually reached a point where I said, I don't want to do this anymore. It's irrelevant, right? And and Shikha sitting right here, she's been part of my life for the longest. I said to her, I don't have that ambition anymore, and it's taken me 2.5 years to say, was it ambition or was it trauma, and did I blur the lines between the two? I'm back in the saddle, and how, and it's not going to change. So sometimes we confuse the two. Ambition is something that we must, I think it should be part of our daily routine. Every day, achieving a small thing today could be ambition, right? I learned how to actually lead this team into this particular exercise. Everything's an ambition. Please don't be ashamed of getting on top of the value chain. We deserve to be there. We really do.
No, but I love what you said also, that there are different life stages also that hit us. And they definitely hit us more than they hit the men. And you, of course, have 3 children. How old are they now, Shradha?
My son's going to be 17 next month. My daughter turns 16 tomorrow. And my youngest is going to be 12 in March. Yeah.
Fantastic. So now, if there was one big message that you would tell your daughter and son, so what would that be when it comes to really honing this?
So, of course, follow your dreams is one. But I think that the one thing that I do tell them is work hard, be humble. Because there's a whole world out there who can do it better than you. At the same time, believe in yourself. It doesn't matter male, female, etc. And by the way, I come from my brother's gay. I come from a completely very, very different and alternate social fabric. My children also come from that very alternate fabric. So humility and acceptance are key. Hard work, of course, is a given.
Fantastic. And with that, everyone, Shradha Suri, thank you so much.